Hey you guys, so I got a good one for you today. Hello everyone, Dave here with Affordable Door and Gate. So this one I'm going to disguise it a little bit. It comes from Jay. I'm not going to throw up the email. I don't want to disclose information that's not warranted here. Anywho, he says, "Hi Dave." He says, "I just wanted to thank you for all your content you're putting on YouTube. I've watched so much of it recently, and it's all fantastic. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that because that's what keeps me chugging along. So, you guys, you got to keep the emails coming. Email me at the daveadubson@gmail.com. That's what I love to do. That's why I like being here. I like to help you guys because the more you thrive, the better I'm going to thrive. So, I was hoping you could do a video on this topic or at least offer a bit of advice for me." He says, "I'm 41 years old. He's an industrial cybersecurity professional working for the government. I've been in the role for almost, 12 years. And like I said, I've changed a few things. So Jay, just stick with me here. We're using his name. His name's Jay. And I have a fantastic job that I enjoy, and it pays decently, as well as a wife, 2 kids, 10 and 13. Few years right here it says, "For a few years, I've really wanted to start a business, but always struggled to take the plunge. Exiting in the comfort zone of the government 9 to 5, excuse me, is a double-edged sword. A few months ago, I stumbled across some folks that started a small business doing garage door repair and something peculiar my interest." I think I said that right. "I've done work on my own garage door over the years, and it seemed like something I could possibly pursue for so long. I've wanted to build a business and pour my time and energy into something other than fruitless government 9 to 5. I have 2 primary questions for you. Am I insane for wanting to do this? Am I insane for thinking that I could leave a stable government job at the age of 41 and attempt to start a small garage door repair business? I feel like I might be crazy, and this is a bit terrifying. Is this short of job, or is this short of a job even possible as a side hustle? In short term, I would need to keep my 9 to 5 and start this business on the side, but I'm afraid the nature of this short of work isn't really conducive to my side hustle. Any advice would be appreciated. Regards, Jay." All right, let's get into it. I kind of wanted to start off with the cash flow quadrant. Something that you should start looking into. I think everybody should look into this book. I think you guys should at least watch the YouTube videos or read the books, which is Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's what always got me started on the brain set of how a lot of us kind of get screwed over. And once you kind of get on the other side and open up your mind that how things are not in your favor. For instance, right? He's always got these quadrants here I'm going to point out. Here's the one, an employee. You have a job. Time equals money. So you're on this, he always talks about this one side, the E and the S. Everybody really needs to try to get more or less on the other side, the right side of the quadrant, or the B and the I. Big business owner, probably not going to be us in the garage door business. We're probably not going to have 500 plus employees. That's just not going to probably happen in our neck of the woods. But there is this one that's called investor. And an investor is something that we can all accomplish with small real estate, things of that nature. So I just want to put that in perspective a little bit. Talking about this, how, I was an E one time. I went to an S, right? Self-employed. You own a job. So I'm putting this out here a little bit because sometimes just being a business owner isn't enough. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not as gravy as what people think it is. Is it a step in the right direction? Sure, it can be. But does it come with a lot of stress, a lot of gray hairs, a lot of sleepless nights? Absolutely. A ton of sacrifice. So one thing I'm starting to kind of see a trend of that I believe just personally is that honestly, if for Jay here, I would absolutely not with this economy right now, not under the Biden administration. Absolutely not. We are in a horrible economic storm going to happen right now. We have no idea which way the ship is going to go. And we have to remember that we only have a little bit, right? And for some people, that seems like a lot, but we only have a little bit longer till we have the elections, and we can kind of see maybe what kind of trend we're going to go down. So for anybody out there starting out or anything, I would absolutely hold off. You know what I mean? And even once, if Mr. T gets in there, it might be something we might want to wait just to see what the economy switches into till next year. Give it a little bit of time, see what the interest rates are doing. Because we all know, you know, the Federal Reserve controls everything. The banksters control everything. The government. That's why it's called a governor on your vehicle. They governor how fast you go. And so anywho, on that, I'm just trying to think of what it is that you have to sacrifice. That's what I was trying to get at here. I can't tell you. I sit here and I think about it, and I don't do it as much as I used to, but I still get it, and sometimes I get about a 12-hour day in once in a while. Maybe a 14, very rare, once a month. But 14 to 17-hour days were very normal for me. Now, mind you, I think it was a little bit easier. My kids didn't really know what was going on when they were younger. So I'm just kind of giving you my perspective. You know, now that they're older, they want to kind of go things. They want to do the volleyball. They want to do the sports. You know, I value that time to spend with them. You know what I mean? And I love teaching. I love teaching them and showing them stuff about life. So I probably wouldn't want to work as hard, to be honest. I'd rather work smarter. So just remember, you know, in Jay's situation here, yes, I would probably say you got to do it as a side hustle. Can it be done? Absolutely. And what you need to make sure you're doing is you need to make sure you're taking videos, all the pictures you can take, get people's numbers, contacts, referrals. And that way, if you post something, wherever you're going to do it, if you want to do it on Facebook or Craigslist or Google or however you're going to do it, Instagram-y, you can have valid people that have good recommendations. Now, what gets people to move sometimes? Price. And that's why sometimes in the garage door business, I stress it's very difficult to scale up, because you always have to remember that everyone here that's an entrepreneur has started out, and there's going to be somebody that's going to replace you. You're not going to live forever. There's going to be somebody that's going to replace you. That somebody's going to come in cheaper. Somebody's got lower overhead. Somebody's going to provide maybe a better service at some point. You know what I mean? So it's just something that you're probably going to have to do nights and weekends. It can be done. You might miss out on somebody with a broken spring. Maybe they can wait. Maybe they won't. It depends on the price. You're going to save them $100. They might wait for nighttime to get their spring, you know, and you have to leave a voicemail. And that's something, if you ever want to know how to set up a voicemail, I got it down pretty good, I think, how I used to set it up, if I can remember it. But that's something we can always discuss at a later date. So no, I don't think you're crazy, obviously, to be in your 40s, let's say, to want to start a business. My wife's grandpa, wonderful man, very smart man, started his business with plastic injection molding, a whole building, machinery, everything, when he was in his 50s. So it's never really too late. It's a matter of, this is why I always talk about sometimes maybe whatever you do set up for a business, you might want to do it as ABC Enterprise or something, because things might change. You know, maybe you decide, you know what, I like people coming to my house, and I'm not, you know, I'm in a busy demographic area. See, there's so many variables that go into this stuff. For instance, right in this picture, right, I had to go pick up this truck from Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is like 2.5, 3 hours drive one way from the shop. We were doing the Lowe's stuff, way too far away. Stupid, traffic, liability, accidents, stuff on the truck that could fly off and kill somebody. We've had that happen before. We actually had angle iron go through the back windshield of somebody's SUV with a baby in the back. Very scary. Luckily, nobody was hurt. An employee did that. I bring these things up, and that's why I like these emails too, because I try to show the other side of not the glamorous life. You know what I mean? Because I've been through it, and I have tried to pummel it so many times to think, I can fix this, I can fix this, I can set this up, I can put this this action in place to correct this. I can put more money into it. I can throw this. I can get better employees of some sort. There's only a limitation. That's why sometimes, like what Rich Dad Poor Dad talks about, right? The vehicle that you're in. That's why sometimes with a vehicle I talk about, If you're in a certain vehicle, it can only go so fast. We all know that. It's going to explode. Even if you do make it do 200 miles an hour, the tires aren't going to keep up. The rims aren't going to keep up. So that's why the vehicle sometimes you have to change vehicles in life. But it's not that it's a bad thing. Like I said, if you're doing it as a side hustle and stuff like that, it's cash flow. So what I'm trying to get is, it's not long-term wealth. It's a cash flow business in a sense. Your long-term wealth is going to come from all that I can ever find in a nutshell, from all the builders, from all the entrepreneurs I've talked to, business owners, is in the real estate. You have to work with the real estate. So maybe what I'm saying, Jay, is you start looking around for potentially, maybe there's a small rental or something that you can do, or maybe you can split off a house somewhere, or there's something that you can invest for long term that you can hand down to your kids that will be there. That's not forcing them into something. Just an idea. But to be crazy, no, I don't think it's a bad idea. Like I said, you can start doing a little side hustle, and we'll get into that next. I was actually talking to Tony, texting him yet today, discussing this a little bit. He didn't know it, but thank you, Tony. And so anywho, here's the thing. You can start out small. You can start out with like garage door openers. You can put posts up. Like I said, the beautiful thing is, every one of you have so much more power than I did when I started out. I only had the phone book. That was basically it. Maybe some bandit signs, whatever, like I've said before. The phone book was it, baby. The phone book was a thick book, baby. And that was it. Y'all got social media. You got all kinds of different stuff that I don't even know how to work. The Twitter, the X, the whatever, Instagram-y. You can use all these social medias, right? You got the friends on there, all that kind of stuff. You can post things on there, and you're going to start pulling. And like I said, it's one of those things. I always look at it this way. Put it out there. Put it out there. You know why? Because if it comes in and the person seems a little goofy, they're not answering your questions quite right, or you check their profile out, which you would never do that. And like the Marine guy told me one time I used to work with, you can tell a lot by somebody's front door. Man, isn't that the truth? Hallelujah. Well, you can tell a lot by somebody's profile. And so you can check a few things out. If everything checks out right, go ahead, baby. Keep moving forward. They're asking, they're doing the right things. They're getting pictures for you. Hey, they're willing to go get an opener for you. You tell them, look, I'll install that opener for you for $100. You know what I mean? I might be a little slow. You explain to them, this is just a side gig. I'm doing this for my family as extra money, whatever you got to word it as you feel comfortable. You put it on there, right? You put it out there, because you know what? You can always turn it down. But to get that faucet to turn on and get the water flowing is extremely hard. And you're going to learn the algorithms. You're going to learn what works and what doesn't, what people say. Well, I was reading, I did the Facebook test not too long ago for an experiment, right? And the lady kept saying, she goes, I really thought it was a scam. I thought it was a scam. There's no way somebody will come out and do free work. That's a scam. Well, I could tune that a little bit. I know what I'd do next time. I had to turn it off. It was too busy. But I could tune that with pictures. I could do a little bit of videos. There's things I could do to modify that to get people to stimulate that, right? So I'm learning. But it's just a matter of putting it out there. You got to put it out there, because if it comes in, worst case, you say, you know what? I apologize. I'm really busy. Maybe have a couple recommendations of who you'd recommend in your town that you think, are good people that would do a good job for them or whatnot. Or if you say, look, I'm busy. Maybe you got plans coming up. I could get you in a week. And they say that's not going to work. You say, hey, not a problem. Sorry that it doesn't work out. This is my time. I got this after hours. I can do it, or I can do it this weekend on a Saturday. You'd be surprised that residential people love that kind of stuff. I couldn't tell you, even if you do weekends and have a phone, which I do recommend you possibly might want to get a burner phone in a sense, because it does get a little complicated. That's just my opinion. It costs money, so maybe you don't want to do it. Be willing to get rid of your phone number, I guess, if things ever start growing, is what I'm trying to get at. But people love the weekends. I used to think I was just going to do the weekends because you could charge more for broken springs. People loved the fact that somebody would answer the phone. Loved it. They were like, oh my gosh, somebody answered the phone. I've called 3 other places. And you'd be surprised. I have other stuff that I do. And the weekend, you normally get Saturdays. You get 1, 2, 3 customers out of a weekend, which is surprising to me. But they're just used to, they want service. They want it now. They waited till a Saturday morning to contact somebody for whatever reason. So it's just something to think about. Also, the reason I put the truck in there was you can go small. I know a guy that started out with a Chevy Spark. He was doing even commercial doors with it. You don't need a lot of hand tools. You get some of your power tools collected up that you need to. When I was talking to Tony, we were talking about maybe about $2,000 is what it's going to cost to get some generic hand tools, to get your wrenches, to get your power tools, your batteries and all that stuff, a couple drivers and whatnot. So don't be afraid to start out small. So to kind of summarize it up, I put this picture on here for you, Jay, and for others. Here's just some basic tools that it took to do kind of residential. That's what I started out. You know, I started out with the residential. We moved up to commercial. We used the Rangers even for commercial. That's why we had the ladder racks and stuff like that. But you can easily use an SUV, a minivan. I use the Nissan now, and I actually have Milwaukee. You don't even have to buy those expensive ones. I use Milwaukee totes, you know, to keep everything sealed in case it rains, just because I don't have a topper or anything like that. You can set it up however it works for you. Set up a little area in your garage or a shed or anything. You can set them up outside if they're sealed under a tarp. Somewhere where it's your to go to, that's your little go pack, right? That's got your spray lube, it's got your tools, it's got your little ladder. You know, you might need a 4-foot, 6-foot ladder for residential is about all you need. But no, do I think you're too old? Hell no. Like I said, I don't think so at all. I think you can be in your 50s and 60s. You know, you might start hitting past 70, about 75. Yeah, that you might just want to hit the old casino by that age. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's a great side hustle. It's a great business. You meet a lot of people. You'll see a lot of parts of town that you never would see. It is a good business. There's no doubt about it. But I would definitely right now with the economy as of 2024 right now, you know, August, don't make any rash moves right now. Keep the cash flow coming, because once you leave, you don't have that stability anymore. And it's not a matter of, you just can't fight the media. You can't fight the markets. Nobody knows what the stock market's going to do. Nobody knows what the interest rates are going to do. It's just, you just cannot fight it. So you just got to hold steady right now. Wait for, you know, if we had another stimulus going on, in a sense, that helps things. You know what I mean? It's not good because it inflates things, but it makes people spend money, I tell you what. But no, just hold on to your belt right now. Do it as a side hustle. Put some advertising out there. And like I said, even if you don't do it, I'm telling you guys, just put it out there. Put some advertising out there. And you'll start feeling it, right? And if you go, wow, I mean, either my advertising is really crummy and I'm only getting one person every 2 months. I mean, the market's pretty saturated. It's amazing how fast a lot of these businesses and that have popped up. The market is getting really saturated with a lot of things I see in general. So, and the economy's changing, how people are purchasing things. I know myself personally, as being a millennial, you know, I'm buying everything I can offline. I do not want to go stand in the stores. I do not want to go wait in the lines. I do not want to deal with the checkout lady that absolutely, you know, or guy that hates his life, that wants to give me the miserable trip of something. You know what I mean? It's a matter of like, I'll just order everything. So the whole economy's changed in a sense. But if you can use the box stores, is which my opinion, which I absolutely would. I would not be afraid to do that. Now I look back, instead of being worried about if I don't have the top dog, you know, this or this. But if I have Wayne Dalton over Clopay, they'll use me. No. They want price. They want price. They want it to work. They want it to look the way they want it to look. They maybe want a little R value. They can tweak that. They can go to the store, get the brochure. They can pick it out. They can pay for it. You can either have it delivered, or you can pick it up if you have a truck or all that kind of stuff and you want to do that kind of service. Many different options. So, Jay, I really appreciate the question. And if you guys got anything or you got questions, you guys can always email me at the daveadupson@gmail.com. I love the emails. Otherwise, some of you got anything for pictures and stuff like that, you're out in the business, the 231-720-9675 is my cell. Just remember, I'm a busy man. And so sometimes I don't answer. My phone's always on silent. I don't always get it. I'm up on a ladder. I'm hustling just like you guys. So sometimes, you know, I don't change poopy diapers anymore, but those kids, they still got to eat. So you know what I mean? Got to keep moving. All right, guys. I love y'all. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you on the next one. See ya.